Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another hero showcase video of Langrisser. And today we're gonna dive right into one of the three characters that has been added to the game so far. And this is the DOA 6 collab units. The first one we're gonna take a look at is the free unit from the event. So sounds somebody asking was I able to get this unit already? Well, the thing is, I grind some level 35s, which most of you I would say it's not recommended, which I agree because you don't get much points for doing level 35s to be honest. But the thing is, since I am creating content, I had no other choice because I need to like get this character done as soon as possible. Especially I'm also oversee the work of Wiki as well, so I had to get everything available to me as much as possible and also as soon as possible. So anyways, we're gonna do this in order, just like future Langrisser installment. So the first one we're gonna look at is Kasumi. The second one is gonna be Neo Tengu, and the third one will be Marie Rose. I'm doing the best for last. So, anyways, Kasumi is a free unit you get from the event. If I have already said that earlier, and this is what her talent is on the as a 3 stars. And what this is called Mugen Tension. What it does is that it increases her attack and defense by 10% at 3 stars, and I believe 25% at 6 stars, if I'm not mistaken. And also, this unit's attacks are not affected by melee damage reduction. And after dealing damage, apply stagger to the enemy, which you'll prevent them from guarding, and they cannot attack before the enemy, which is strike first, by the way. So if they have strike first, that will not work with them. So yeah, Kazumi is the force to be reckoned with. And then this effect will stay on them for 2 turns, and you cannot dispel it either way, but you can prevent it using the dispel immunity. And when initiating battle, if the enemy is afflicted with stagger, they cannot counterattack and they'll be stunned after combat for 1 turn. So this right there is absolutely dirty. So if you end up getting your opponent with a stagger debuff on them, they will not be able to counterattack, and on top of that, after battling, you are gonna stun them, which is crazy enough. But again, this can easily be avoided with the debuff immunity. So yeah, I don't see her that useful in PvP. Not gonna lie, like Ilya could just prevent all that from inflicted on her team, which is usually not a good thing for Kazumi. Do I think she's viable there? I honestly don't think so because of all those debuff immunity. At first, I thought she's gonna be decent, but since she does have even though she does have stagger, which is treated as a debuff, Ilya's just gonna clean right off of that. So I don't think that's gonna do worthwhile. But if someone got stagger on there, that could work in some situations. But the chances of that happening is really slim to none. Now let's talk about what her classes are. So she is strictly assassin, but however, look closely to what the stats shows on the move and range. All three of these classes that you see here, even though this is assassin class, usually they are 2 attack range. For Kasumi's case, it is actually 1 attack range, which is a bit odd if you think about it. But of course, to make up for it, she does come with ranged soldiers, so you can go range if you like. But of course, there's some gears you can do to match with her, attack range. But I honestly do not recommend for this in PvP because you're basically reducing your damage overall for her, at least. Now let's talk about what skills you can get here. Anyways, the unique skill, one of them is called it's called a Hoshimpo. I think that's how we call it, a Hoshimpo. It's one of those like Japanese names move, I think. But it's like Divine Step in the English translation, but they go for the JP translation here, which I guess all right, you do you, I guess. So, anyways, this is the act again skill, self act again. What this does is that it uses in a straight line on an empty block, or unit applies the displacement effect, and this will basically pull her to the target side and can move two blocks in an attack again after use. And also, this displacement effect ignores immunity. So if you have something like electric headwear, this will ensure that you don't mess up your movement, which is nice. And also, when you're displacing, the movement type is regarded as flying. So think of this like Lost Them, but in a way of like moving yourself towards wherever you want to go. And then and also your buffs do not decrease on the turn duration, which is nice. The other skill we have is Tension Show, which is the one of her unique skill, which is a single target attack. This does 1.4 times damage and increases the damage taken by 20% for one turn. If the target is afflicted with stagger, reduces the target's defense by 30% after battle for 2 turns. Yeah, this is straightforward but pretty strong if you manage to dish out stagger on the enemy. As for the other common skills, well, we'll talk about 3C later because you'll unlock that later on. At the start, you'll unlock Plunder and also Sneak Attack. These are the 2 skills you'll start with. And unlike all the characters that we have so far, this character, just like Guyver characters, only has one class tree route. So you don't need runestones to get all these skills, which is a huge plus. And then the skills you unlock later on are, of course, Slice Stride, Shadow Raid, and of course her unique 1C skill, the Repose 2C skill, the Tension Show 2C skill, which is unique to her, and Ninjutsu 1C skill. And so far, the selection of skills here is about the same, but despite less classes you can work with or upgrade to, which is fine on its own. And as for soldier selections here, we have these soldiers here. So she has access to Elf Master, which is a classic archer soldier. Dead Gunners is another option, while Expedition is also good. I go for Dead Gunners for, of course, like a higher damage. She also have access to Samurai for, of course, many things, since she is melee after all. But I don't recommend choosing that because you're gonna need something that does damage. For me, Samurai is not at the highest. I think it's not even max, so I cannot really reflect that. Miss Dancer is also an option. Arc Assassin is also there, and then Duckswing Blade is also here for you to choose from. Honestly, the soldiers selections are pretty limited, but it's actually okay because she doesn't really need certain characters. Like some can be pretty overpowered if you ask me, but this lineup is pretty solid, nevertheless. As for the equipment, I went for this gear, which I don't think this is like a most recommended set. Just this is just a PVE gear set, by the way. Nothing too fancy. I'm not planning to bring her to PvP anyways. So like she's probably one of the units I ever gonna review as being part of the not part of PvP viable option. But anyways, these are the ones I go with, which is the anti-silence. Although PvE, there are hardly anybody that can silence you, but I equip this on her just in case, and also this does more damage on top of that. So Alder's bow is to combat the weird one attack range. But however, this will actually make her deal less damage, which pretty unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Monkey King's best is to like of course give her more attack and crit whenever she's under attack, which most cases I'm mostly using her on offense. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is for PvE stuff, not necessarily for PvP. So this set doesn't really matter, but as long as you know what you're doing. And a Snow Beanie is a decent one to have, but you could choose other gears as well. And then Bloodthirsty Nail to negate the active skull silence. And now for the awakening stage, her 3C here is called Raman. I'm not saying ramen, Raman. That is actually it's called Raman. I mean Oka Raman. Anyways, the name is just weird because it's Japanese like names. And anyways, the passive skill on this is that when battling enemies with stagger, damage taken is reduced by 30%, and attack is increased by 30%. And this does physical damage. This attacks one enemy, dealing 1.6 times damage. If the enemy is afflicted with stagger, this skill attacks 2 times in this battle. After battle, if there are no enemies within 3 blocks, this unit can act again. Otherwise, this skill cooldown is reduced by 3 turns. And this will trigger this will have like both these effects are going to be sharing the same trigger cooldown, and this can be activated again after 2 turns. Even though Kasumi is like a not PvP unit, she is actually decent on the PvE option. So if you have your hands on Kasumi, then yeah, you go, because she's probably the protag of this series as far as I know. And this is what her 3 animation looks like. Looks alright, nothing too fancy there. I mean, most collabs that we have in the game so far are all the same, using the initial appearance and design on their cut-in effect. So anyways, let's not waste any more time, and let's do some awakening stages. And I'm gonna show you all how to clear this with Kasumi. I'll do the other 2 as well when I'm able to. So anyways, the skill I'll be setting here are these skills, and with the thanks to the effect of the Alder's bow, she's gonna be able to attack along with her soldiers. Or maybe she does already, but we'll have to see as a test soon. So anyways, our first opponent is Cherie, second opponent is Narm, and third opponent is Atakuto the 4th. So let's start by attacking here. So I'm going to put animation on to see if Kasumi does attack with them, if it's like 3 block attack range. And turns out my speculation is correct. Kasumi does not attack unless she is in range. And that attack wouldn't even matter, because Cherie as herself is like, I'm not expecting her to be like, too overpowered per se. She's the classic unit. She's not like a power creep unit as like before, because she's a balanced unit. Anyways, we're gonna stay here and then not engage just yet. I want to lure them close to me before I attack them. And I'm gonna go in and melee. Even though usually you don't want to do this if you're assassin, but since Kasumi is special, which will negate melee damage penalty, you can just do this and then do full damage against a range attacker. I mean the range unit. I mean, which honestly it looks pretty broken, but of course in a good way. Let's see what you have. Usurp. Okay, we gotta be careful with that skill, because that thing is ranged. I'm gonna move right here so he doesn't really hit me. Okay, I'm gonna go right here, and then I'm going to teleport behind him. Or not. I just got blocked there. Oh well. And I'm going to range attack right here. It's not enough. Oh well. Okay, exile, that's not enough to kill me, so tough luck on that. That's the first stage clear. As long as you know what you're doing, this should not be too difficult. I mean, it's already easy to begin with, but as long as you build your units well. And now let's move on to stage number 2. And let me get the more of these resources. Or actually, no, second thought. I'll get more if I need to, but for now, I have enough resources to do this one. So anyways, Wild Sakura Dance, that's the second stage name. Now let's see, we have allies on our team, and this is a mirror battle overall. Anyways, we have allies here. We got Lucretia with these skills here. Looks like it's mostly AoE like skills. Okay. Marie Rose. Let's see, what kind of skill is this? Attack enemy in a straight line. Okay, it's like a mix of AoE and single target. Neo Tengu, I think you are your single targets. Okay. Anyways, there are 2 units we need to watch out for on the enemy side, which are Lucretia and Marie Rose. I have an idea. I'm going to move here.
あいつの頼み
How
は
far
聞
can
け
you
る
reach from here? Not pretty far. So we're going to move back here. Sometimes it's better to engage them after they go
わ
in.
かりましたお任せください
No, she won't be able to splash from
お
there.
掃
So
除しちゃいますよ
I think we're good. But aside from that lung attack, oh, whoops.
私があんたに与える最高の栄誉よ
Yeah, the AI isn't as bright as here.
全力で行くわ正しい選
All
択
right,
をした
let's
わ
move
ね
in. We'll attack like
死は
this. Prevent them
私
from
があんた
healing,
に与える
even
最
though
高
they
の
won't have
栄
anything
誉
to
よ
heal. And I'm gonna attack Marie Rose using the puppet.
全力で行くわ
Oh, wait a minute.
勝負よ全力で行くわ
Okay, go after Marie Rose.
これが無限天神流よ
Oh, not enough.
天狗のように聞こえし力
Okay, have Neo
見せて
Tengu
みよ
go up ahead.
さあかかってくるがよい
And I think I'll just directly attack this. No, nothing fancy. There we go. Oh, AoE. Oh, this places them. Oh, that's perfect. Oh dear.
わかりましたお任せください
Let me kill that puppet so it doesn't do the crazy range attack.
血のバラ咲かせてあげるわかりました
And I get to move again. Okay. Let's use this turn to get out of there.
勝負よ
Okay, ineffective. Oh, Lucretia's gonna get
可
hit
愛がって
here.
あげようぞ教皇様の命を
Okay,
下
she
す
does fall, but thanks to the puppet nearby, she is saved.
全力で行くわ
I'm gonna keep my distance and then attack this.
正しい選択をしたわね
Okay, I'm going over here. Or actually no, move one more block back.
Almost there.
Okay, Neo Tengu will have to go down.
可愛がってあげようぞああいけずわかりました
Okay, Marie Rose. Let's see. Where's the good spot to go here? Okay, she's still at that AoE. I gotta stay away from that.
死は私があんた
Oh,
に与
Cosmo's
える
dead.
最高の
Okay,
栄誉
fine.
よ
As long as Lucretia's still alive,
あ
I'm
いつ
okay.
の頼みお掃除しちゃいますよ
Okay, let's use that.
お掃除しちゃいますよ
Okay, Lucretia will have to go down because she's causing most of the trouble here.
悪い子にはお仕置きが必要です
Oh, a stun. Nasty. Oh my goodness.
血のバラ咲かせてあげる正しい選択をしたわね
Man, you all just see that? Like, what? What in the world? I just stunned Lucretia like that. That's absolutely dirty, and I get act again after that. Yeah, she's crazy. And unfortunately, I won't reach there, so I'm just gonna do normal attack right here.
教皇様の命を下す正しい選択をしたわね
Okay, Lucretia will have to slowly move forward here. Any cooldowns that need to refresh? Yeah, there's one. Let's do that on Marie Rose. Oh, melee attack range. Are you sure about that?
勝負よ
Well, okay, no counterattack here. Fine.
人
Oh
形
no, she got stunned.
あいつの頼みは聞ける
Won't matter though because you're dead.
私はまだ戦える
Alright, let's go into one of those stages to test her out on her 3C and see how it goes here. Okay, now that's done. I'm gonna screenshot that and I'll save that for later. Anyways, I'll be right back and see you all on the battlefield. Alright, we're back on in the video really quick, and we are in the battlefield right now. So we're gonna move our
悪
units
を
here real
滅ぼし
quick.
て正義を示します
Gain the position.
無限天心の名にかけて
Okay, let's go right here. Just setting up my team's positioning before we go in there.
全部まとめて俺に任せろ悪を滅ぼして正義を示します
Anyways, let's weaken those guys first before we go in.
覇者牽制
Using this here.
百花繚乱無限天心の名にかけて
Now let's test out that 3C. Actually, let's push Shuri up. Oh, ouch! That's a lot of damage.
全力で行くわ
Okay, now we can safely do this using 3C.
勝負よ
Yeah, not a lot, but however the animation looks pretty
無限天心
flashy,
の名にかけて
and I get to go again after that. Actually, no. You know what? Stay where I am to activate this.
勝負よ
ごめんなさい
And there you go. That managed to take her out.
使い切っちゃったみたい
Yeah, that's Kasumi for you. She just like if you weren't able to kill the enemy with the 3C, she will be able to like act again and then follow up with another skill. Pretty handy if you ask me. So, anyways, that's the that's the how she works on battlefield. Well, of course, this is against not hard enemies per se. This could be different, but do I recommend her PvP? I don't think so. She's not that good. So, anyways, I'll be right back and give you like a bit of a overall of how I feel about her. Okay, overall, what I think about this character, I would say she's an excellent addition for your team for PvE. And I do not recommend you all to use this character for PvP unless you want to do something like a challenge per se, but overall you don't want to bring her in there because she is not good for PvP because there are a lot of ways to counteract against her mechanic, like the stagger debuff on there. That is preventable. So yeah, that's the one thing you probably don't want to slot her in for unless you are well prepared for it, and then ban anyone that can do like a immunity against that. Overall, she's a decent character. Hope you'll find this very helpful or informative, and I'll see you all next time. Which of course, hopefully soon, because I had to do 2 more characters later on. Anyways, see you all next time.